Most people think wars are fought with soldiers, borders, and weapons you can see. But the most important conflict happening right now is almost invisible, and it is being fought inside data centers, supply chains, and technology agreements that rarely make headlines. Because the world is not just racing for artificial intelligence. The world is racing for the power behind it. And that power runs through one company, NVIDIA. You probably know NVIDIA as a technology brand, maybe even as a company that makes powerful chips for gamers or AI tools. What most people do not realize is that those chips have quietly become one of the most valuable resources on the planet. Not oil, not gold, compute. And whoever controls compute controls the future of AI. Right now, governments, corporations, and entire economies are competing to secure access to advanced AI hardware because they understand something that the public is only starting to notice. AI is not just software anymore. It is power. Every breakthrough you hear about, every new model, every system that seems smarter than the last, depends on massive amounts of computing infrastructure. Without that infrastructure, AI does not scale. And without scale, countries risk falling behind. This is where NVIDIA enters the story. For years, the company grew quietly, mostly ignored outside of technology circles. Then AI exploded into mainstream attention, and suddenly everyone realized that the most advanced models were running on NVIDIA chips. Demand surged almost overnight. Companies rushed to buy hardware. Cloud providers expanded data centers at incredible speed. Governments began treating AI infrastructure as a strategic priority. And when something becomes strategic, competition turns into conflict. You will not see tanks or headlines calling it a war, but the signals are everywhere. Export restrictions, supply chain pressure, political negotiations about chip access. Because countries understand that AI is not just about innovation. It is about economic power, military advantage, and technological independence. Imagine a future where one nation develops smarter AI systems faster than everyone else. Those systems could influence markets, automate industries, and accelerate research at a pace others cannot match. That gap would grow quickly, and once it grows, catching up becomes almost impossible. This is why advanced AI chips are now treated like strategic assets, and NVIDIA sits directly in the middle of that tension. The company does not control governments, but its technology has become essential to their ambitions. Every time a new AI model is announced, it quietly increases pressure on competitors to build something bigger, faster, and more powerful. And that creates a global race with no clear finish line. The strange part is that most people never see this side of the story. To the average viewer, AI feels like a tool that writes text or creates images. Behind the scenes, it is an arms race driven by compute power, energy consumption, and access to hardware. Countries are investing billions into AI infrastructure because they fear being left behind. Businesses are doing the same because the companies that fail to adopt AI risk becoming irrelevant. And this is where the tension grows. There are not infinite supplies of advanced chips. Manufacturing is complex, expensive, and concentrated in a small number of places. That means access matters. When demand rises faster than supply, competition becomes intense. Suddenly, technology companies are not just competing with each other. They are competing with entire nations. NVIDIA, intentionally or not, becomes the center of that struggle. But here's the part that makes this story more unsettling. The fight is not only about who builds the best AI, it is about who controls the infrastructure everyone else depends on. If AI becomes the foundation of future economies, then compute becomes the foundation of power. And history shows that whenever a new source of power emerges, conflict follows. Not always visible conflict. Sometimes quiet, strategic moves happen behind closed doors. The world is entering a phase where AI capability influences political decisions, economic alliances, and long-term national strategies. That means the competition surrounding NVIDIA is not temporary. It is structural, and the race is accelerating. Every new breakthrough increases urgency. Every improvement raises the stakes. No country wants to wake up one day and realize another nation is pulled too far ahead. Now think about what this means for you. While governments compete for AI dominance, The technology itself continues spreading into everyday life. The same infrastructure driving global competition is also shaping the tools you use, the platforms you rely on, and the systems influencing your decisions. The race happening above you quietly reshapes the world around you. And this is where the story becomes almost ironic. Most people think AI is about convenience, productivity, or entertainment. But at the highest level, AI is about leverage. Who moves faster? Who learns faster? Who adapts faster? And compute is the fuel that makes that possible. NVIDIA did not set out to become the center of a global struggle. Yet its technology now sits at the intersection of business ambition and national strategy. That position brings enormous opportunity, but it also creates pressure. Because when the world depends on a single layer of infrastructure, everyone wants access, and not everyone can have it. The result is a quiet battle happening in boardrooms, government meetings, and supply agreements that rarely make front-page news. You will not see dramatic announcements explaining this shift. Instead, you will see subtle signals, new regulations, unexpected partnerships, sudden investments into AI infrastructure. Each move is part of a larger game, and the game is only beginning. Because the real question is not whether countries are competing over AI. They already are. The real question is what happens when AI becomes too important for anyone to fall behind. When that moment arrives, the race stops being optional. It becomes unavoidable. And the company powering much of that race remains the same one most people still think of as a gaming brand: NVIDIA. So while the world argues about AI tools and futuristic predictions, something much bigger is happening quietly in the background. A global struggle for the technology that will shape the next era of power. And if you look closely, you can already see the signs. The world is not just building AI, the world is fighting over who gets to control it.